Hello, hello, hello. We are getting started right now with our Bible reading tonight. We are going to be in Matthew, and that is Matthew chapter 8. We've got about, I believe, about 34 verses to get through tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Callie Brown. I am with TCT23. I'm the pastor at TCT23 Ministries, as well as the founder of TCT23 Bookstore. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so we can hear. Pay attention. Hopefully that's not overwhelming to you guys. We'll get started here in just a moment. If you want to know more about TCT23, you can take a look at us online at www.tct23.com. So why do we do this Bible reading? Just real quick, the reason why we do this Bible reading is because the Lord asked me to get truth in me. And I knew that I would be accountable if I did that for you guys. So we read through one chapter per night. That's it. It's Monday through Friday. It takes about 10-15 minutes. It's really good family time for everybody, just to kind of sit down and listen and hear what the Lord is saying and get that in your spirit, right? Just get that in our spirit, man. So how are we able to read the Passion Translation? Because I know along with the music that we hear, both have copyrights. So in the front of your Passion Translation Bible, when you receive it, that's usually the case for most Bibles, is that you can use up to 250 verses out of that Bible before you have to get permission, written permission. And so as you saw earlier, we're only going to be using about 34 of those verses in one sitting. And so we're good with that copyright there. So just wanted to let you know that. Additionally, the music that's playing is from Dan Musselman. Dan Musselman is a pianist. He's on YouTube. You can go and check out his piano skills. And he is the one playing in the background. This is Bethel, and let's see what else we got here. Excuse me. It's a whole bunch of different songs that you can, let's see, Hillsong, Elevation, Bethel, Jesus Culture, Passion, and Carrie Job. He plays all of those. So keep that in mind as we are moving forward. All right. It says, Jesus heals, and this is chapter 8. So we're going to get moving into chapter 8 right now. Again, we just don't want to take up a ton of your time, but it's definitely worth listening to if you can. Okay. So chapter 8. This is Matthew chapter 8. Jesus heals a leper. Now, after he came down from teaching on the hillside, massive crowds began to follow him. Suddenly, a leper walked up to Jesus and threw himself down before him in worship and said, "Lord, you have the power to heal me if you really want to." Jesus reached out his hand and touched the leper and said, "Of course, I want to heal you. Be healed." And instantly, all signs of leprosy disappeared. Then Jesus said to him, "Don't speak to anyone, but go at once and find a priest and show him what has happened to you. Make sure to take the offering Moses commanded so he can certify your healing." The next section is entitled, Jesus Heals the Son of a Roman Officer. This is verse 5. When Jesus entered the village of Capernaum, a captain in the Roman army approached him asking for a miracle. "Lord," he said, "I have a son who is lying in my home, paralyzed and suffering terribly." Jesus responded, "I will go with you and heal him." Verse 8. But the Roman officer interjected, "Lord, Who am I to have you come into my house? I understand your authority, for I too am a man who walks under authority and have authority over soldiers who serve me. I can tell one to go and he'll go, and another to come and he'll come. I command my servants and they'll do whatever I ask. So I know that all you need to do is stand here and command healing over my son, and he will be instantly healed. Jesus was astonished when he heard this. He said to those who were following him, he has greater faith than anyone I have encountered in Israel. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Multitudes of Gentiles will stream from the east and the west to enter into the heavenly kingdom with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But many Israelites born to be heirs of the kingdom will be turned away and banished into the darkness, where there will be bitter weeping and unbearable anguish. Then Jesus turned to the Roman officer and said, go home. All that you have believed for will be done for you. And his son was healed at that very moment. Jesus heals everyone in Capernaum. Verse 14. Then Jesus entered Peter's home and found Peter's mother-in-law bedridden, severely ill with a fever. The moment Jesus touched her hand, she was healed. Immediately she got up and began to make dinner for them. That evening, the people brought to him many who were demonized, and by Jesus only speaking a word of healing over them, they were totally set free from their torment. And everyone who was sick received their healing. In doing this, Jesus fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. He put upon himself our weaknesses, and he carried away our diseases and made us well. At the sight of large crowds gathering around him, Jesus gave orders to his disciples to get ready to sail back over the other side of the lake. Just then, a religious scholar approached him and said, Teacher, I'll follow you wherever you go. Jesus replied, Foxes have dens, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no true home in this world. Then another man spoke up and said, Lord, I'll follow you, but first I must take care of my aged father and bury him when he dies. But Jesus said to him, Now is the time to follow me, and let those who are dead bury their own dead. Jesus calms a storm. Verse 23. They all got into a boat and began to cross over to the other side of the lake. And Jesus, exhausted, fell asleep. Suddenly, a violent storm developed with waves so high the boat was about to be swamped. Yet Jesus continued to sleep soundly. The disciples woke him, saying, Save us, Lord, we're going to die. But Jesus reprimanded them. Why are you gripped with fear? Where is your faith? Then he stood and rebuked the storm, saying, Be still. And instantly it became perfectly calm. The disciples were astonished by this miracle and said to one another, Who is this man? Even the wind and the waves obey his word. Jesus sets free two demonized men. Verse 28. When they arrived on the other side of the lake, in the region of the Gadarenes, two demonized men confronted Jesus. They lived among the tombs of a cemetery and were considered so extremely violent that no one felt safe passing through that area. The demons screamed at Jesus, shouting, Son of God, what do you want with us? Leave us alone. Have you come to torment us before the appointed time? Verse 30. There was a large herd of pigs feeding nearby, and the demons pleaded, If you cast us out, send us into that herd of pigs. Jesus commanded, Then go. And at once the demons came out of the men and went into the pigs. Then the entire herd of crazed pigs stampeded down the steep slope and fell into the water, ground. The men who were herding the pigs fled to the nearby town and informed the people of all that had happened to the demonized men. Then everyone from the town went out to confront Jesus, and urged him to go away and leave them alone. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Well, sadly, this is not a teaching, just a Bible reading, so we're going to stop right there, but feel free to go through all the footnotes. In fact, I encourage you to do so that you learn just a little bit more about the word of the Lord. There's some interesting footnotes here that will help you to understand the word of God even more. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. Well, we have a couple of things going on in the ministry. I just want to keep you abreast of that. Remember, we have morning prayer in the morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We would love to have you there. It usually runs about 45 minutes to an hour. But you're more than welcome to come and listen. We hope that you do, in fact. So you can find that through our Facebook group, TCT23-Morning Prayer. Additionally, in fact, tomorrow we'll be hosting our book club. We do that every Thursday at 7 o'clock. So we'll have sort of back-to-back things going on. 7 o'clock for book club, and then we'll do Bible reading right at 8 o'clock. Same Zoom link. Same Zoom link. Okay. The next things I want to tell you about are our Prayer Partner t-shirts. They're logo t-shirts, and they have Prayer Partner written across them. If you're interested in those, you can still get those today, just today, for $13.50. Tomorrow they go back up to $24.99. Woo, better get those now. Okay. The other things that we have going on that you can go and take a look at are a Cupful mentorship program. I'm working on the material for that program. However, I do take mentorship calls, and we can do that over the phone. We can get you started right away with that. I do have 2 or 3 appointments that I take weekly, and you're welcome to go through that with me on a one-on-one basis. Does that make sense? So a Cupful mentorship program, what is that? What is that about? Why is it called a Cupful? Because of Psalms 23, which is also in our logo, in the title of our ministry, TCT23, the communion table 23. 23 stands for Psalms 23. And a cupful has to do with, well, your cup runneth over. If your cup is full, you pour out onto other people. And so this is just my opportunity to pour out onto other people. Mentorship, one-on-one mentorship does cost some money. So get with us on that. You can also go and find out what books that I'm working on by going over and liking Callie Brown Author. That's my fan page, and you can go ahead and look into that and see what I've got going on. I haven't posted anything lately, but please feel free to go through what I have posted. I'm working on about 2 or 3 books right now, and the Lord just talked to us about expanding and being a house of worship and having a night of worship to start to minister to other people, as well as begin to take offerings, etc., for what the Lord wants to do. This expansion project the Lord wants to do. So if you feel like the Lord is leading you to give into the ministry, please go to our fan page at TCT23, and it'll have everything listed there. I believe the PayPal's there. If you're more interested in Cash App or Venmo, we can certainly accommodate you there as well. Okay, so just reach out to us, and you can do that through email. You can reach out to me at Callie@TCT23.com if you have any questions, or you can simply donate on the webpage. All righty. All right, guys, well, have a wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow morning for morning prayer at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. All righty, we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.